Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
Just days away from the August 2nd primary, the Republican hopefuls for governor meet for a final debate and a push for your vote. So far, this field has remained fairly close in the polling, especially Tudor Dixon and Kevin Rinke.
But we know a large portion of primary voters remains undecided heading into this Tuesday. Mara McDonald live in Pontiac. We saw a bit of a shift in tone tonight, Mara.
Oh, Devin, welcome to the shift or pivot to the general election. There was really only one opponent up there tonight, and she wasn't even on the stage. Let me show you. In past matchups, these candidates have focused on each other, but there was only one opponent in the room tonight.
Gretchen Whitmer's biggest problem is that she believes she is the smartest person in the room, and she's unable to admit when she's wrong.
Dixon, who has drawn fire from her counterparts in the past, was left untouched tonight, to the point she's the one who brought it up.
Even my opponents on the stage would say, I'm the best person to win this election because they're attacking me as well. Kevin Rinke changed his ads from being pro-Kevin Rinke to being against Tudor Dixon.
Rinke and Dixon are within the margin of error of each other, and the Rinke on stage tonight talked his strengths and policy proposals.
But what a leader does is what I propose. You eliminate the personal income tax. You give the people back $12 billion of their own dollars.
But when Dixon presented herself as the one to beat, he went on offense.
You just listen to our version of Gretchen Whitmer.
Soldano and Kelly refrained from attacking Dixon and pushed their narrative that they are the choice of the grassroots.
I have the people that are 100% behind me.
And there's a lot of shenanigans going on behind the scenes with our establishment trying to bring down these candidates who are backed by the people.
And Rebant his calling as a pastor.
There's one person we haven't sent to Lansing yet. That's a pastor. That's a pastor who cares about people more than he cares about politics.
Back here live, we head into Tuesday's primary election with a GOP primary for governor, the likes of which I haven't seen in all the years I've been covering this. Meaning this, there is no name ID candidate in this group. There is no sitting congressman or former AG. And the name ID issue really going forward is an issue. It really is anyone's game at this point on Tuesday. Devin, Kimberly. Back to you.
Sure feels that way, and we don't often say that 5, 6, 7 days away here as we are. All right, Mara.
Okay, some breaking news to get to right now. Just in from Dearborn, where multiple high-end vehicles are stolen from a Ford storage lot.
We know police have recovered at least one of those vehicles. Tim Pamplin on the scene with the night cam. Tim.
From the air and on the ground, Michigan State Police pursuing these Raptors that were stolen from a holding lot down in Dearborn. One person just being taken into custody here. Officers going to the back of this home here. We believe there's a Raptor parked back there. Now, the All Points Bulletin came out about an hour ago via Dearborn Police Department. A number of Raptors had been stolen from a holding lot at Ford Road and Southfield. Take a listen.
Ford Raptors stolen from the holding lot near Northtown Southfield through Ford Road. All occupants were wearing ski masks, nothing further.
Now, we've just got this video in. This is around the corner. There is one of the Raptors now. $88,000 approximately each, and a number of those stolen this evening by ski masked robbers. Police say one is in custody. One of those very expensive trucks has been located here again on Asbury Park. That's the area of 8 Mile and Southfield. A wild night on the Detroit-Dearborn border. With the night cam tonight, Tim Pamplin, Local 4.
Okay, Tim. A major development out of Washington tonight with Democrats announcing a deal on an energy and health care bill after more than a year of negotiations.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer announced the deal after a major reversal from Senator Joe Manchin, who now says he will support a package that includes major investments in drug pricing as well as provisions to address climate change. According to CNN, the deal also includes a $4,000 tax credit for the purchase of used electric vehicles and $7,500 for a new EV. The filibuster-proof bill could become a law as soon as next month, as long as Democrats can pass the bill in the House and it gets the green light from the Senate parliamentarian to allow it to be approved along straight party lines. We'll keep following.
Well, following months of debate between the U.S. and Russia, today Secretary of State Antony Blinken announcing a potential deal to make a prisoner swap to get Novi native Paul Whelan and WNBA star Brittany Griner back to the U.S.
I think you can expect to hear me in the weeks and months ahead speak more to the efforts that we're making to reinforce this global norm against arbitrary detention to deter countries from doing this in the first place.
The Biden administration is attempting to exchange Victor Bout, a convicted Russian arms trafficker known as the Merchant of Death, who is serving a 25-year sentence in a U.S. prison. Secretary of State Blinken confirmed the deal has been on the table for, quote, a while, and that as of right now, Russia has yet to respond to the United States offer. The Whelan family releasing this statement, reading in part, quote, "We hope the Russian government responds to the U.S. government and accepts this or some other concession that enables Paul to come home to his family." Whelan, as you know, was sentenced to 16 years in prison on accusations of being a spy and so far has been in custody for 3.5 years.
Closer to home, we're learning more about the investigation into a missing Lake Orion teenager who was found shot to death in an apartment in Detroit. Jacob Hills went to a party with friends in the city last Saturday. When he didn't answer his family's calls the next day, they started searching for him. Well, police discovered his body in the basement of an apartment on Monday. Hill's family tell us they believe Jacob was lured to the city so that someone could steal his AR-15 and the money he had received from graduation. Tonight, police tell us Jacob was not lured.
He elected to come to the city. There has been some discussion about him being lured to the city, and our investigation does not support that information. The information we're working with indicates that he willingly came to the city. And after he was at the city, he encountered someone that decided to take his life.
Police said they have contacted someone associated with Hills and are interviewing that person, though they are not calling that person a suspect.
We've learned new information about the suspected drunk driver accused of causing a series of crashes at two busy intersections in St. Clair Shores. The crashes happened at 10 Mile and Jefferson and again at 10 Mile and Harper, where 5 other vehicles were involved. In total, 11 vehicles were involved. After the first crashes, a witness drove after the at-fault driver. A 25-year-old man from Harrison Township was arrested. Several people were hurt in the crashes, but they are expected to be okay.
Special event is planned this weekend in Livonia for young women who never got to experience a prom.
Yeah, it's all part of an organization's effort to help young mothers. Pamela Osborne is live tonight on what makes this night so special and how you can help too, Pam.
You know, Tyra Moore was a teen mom herself, so she knows what it means to miss out on prom. It's why this Saturday she's hosting a prom for more than 24 moms from around the Metro Detroit area, ages 18 to 60-something. There will be a little bit of glitz and a lot of dancing here at Burton Manor.
I was told my life was going to be over, and I just overcame it.
Tyra Moore has overcome more than most. At 14, she found out she was pregnant, a secret she carried to term.
My mom found out on a Tuesday. I gave birth in the same week on a Friday.
When they came home from the hospital, their house was filled with nearly 2 years worth of the essentials she needed for her little girl.
When I was holding my baby, I was like, you know, one day, I don't know when, but I am going to pay it forward and help girls and teens that's in my shoes.
She and her husband saved $10,000. With it, they started buying and dropping off essentials for moms in need and created a Girl Like Me Inc. But she decided the moms needed something else. Prom.
So I didn't go to prom.
21-year-old Anaya Maley is mom to 3, the firstborn when she was 18.
Going to high school prom is all about flashy cars and who got the most expensive shoes. This is more like, we did this. This is something we all missed it together. Now we all get to do it together.
Her date, mom Tiffany, also sat out on her prom because she was pregnant.
I'm excited now, but I wasn't excited then.
The moms picked out dresses donated by organizations like Hope's Closet and Sparkle Network. They picked up their accessories and on Saturday will be treated to hair, makeup, and nails before getting dressed for the big event. Because we all deserve a little bit of sparkle and magic.
This is that opportunity that I missed, but I think I'm going to enjoy it a lot better as an adult.
And as you heard, these moms are in for a really special night. Here's the thing, though. They're about $500 short of their fundraising goal to finish putting on this event. That money, they hope, will go towards hiring a photographer to take pictures of them on their big night out, as well as transportation to get them to some of their earlier appointments and then here at the end of the night. So if you would like to help them with that, we posted a link to their information on our website, clickondetroit.com. And it's not just that. She does so much more for these girls. Mentorship. She also has parenting classes, which at the end of it, they get a car seat or a pack and play. So plenty of opportunities to help this mom with a really big mission here. Reporting live in Livonia, I'm Pamela Osborne, Local 4.
Yeah, really nice. Okay, Pam, thanks.